Hey, Austin, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here.
Hola. ¿Cómo están haciendo aquí? Muy bien.
We're using natural light tonight. We might. Oh, I can't do that. If you want to look at, I don't like this.
Fix it.
I don't like the color on my. I'm going live on my laptop. Sorry, everybody. Just clean the camera. That doesn't do. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Austin? Doing good. Really nice weather here in Central Illinois today. About 70. I don't know. I would guess 75. The high. Let me see. I worked a little bit today, and that was good. Hey, Gamer Bro, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up.
Hi, Gamer Bro.
It was 71 today, and it says 70. It's 71 now, so it was really nice today. Just
I had shorts on earlier, and she had a whole sweatshirt and jeans on, and she was like, "Why are you wearing shorts?" And I was like, "Because it's nice."
It was chillier earlier this morning.
I just got crap in my shirt. Cat.
How can I find that?
What are you trying to find?
My life.
It's not going to show up because it's your account, Mom. It's not going to show you that you're live. I will be back by Thursday.
Okay.
I will be back by Thursday.
He did a no. He did a review on everybody hates Chris, and there was a bunch of cussing in it. And YouTube flagged him on.
Sorry, Gamer Bro.
Live and learn.
Well, we'll be looking for you then, Gamer Bro.
I should run your playlist. Maybe I'll do that tonight after I get off my live. I'll run one of your playlist. See the. I don't like it. My phone's better. What's that for?
For later.
Or
did you find your scissors?
I got scissors. I don't know what I did with them though. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, when a few more people get in here, I think I'll let Courtney do. She's got some stuff that she bought, and I think I'll let her do her kind of a live haul, and then I'm going to do my testimony. And I got a Temu package, my last one for quite a while, but my daughter bought it for me for Mother's Day. That was one of my Mother's Day gifts from her. So I think I might do a video on that, though.
Yeah, Austin, the FDA and YouTube have different standards, though.
Yeah. All the time, God is good. You are right. Oh, Courtney's doing her makeup.
I didn't do this beforehand. Sorry.
So we went to a new boutique here in town, and I don't know. I was telling my mom about it, and she said, "Well, that's not going to last long." And then I I work in a medical facility, and the doctor was leaving today. She was there for about half an hour, and then she left a half an hour after I got to work. And she said, well, that won't last long in Lincoln because it's real high priced. And
I'll tell you guys the prices. I'll bring out my receipt. I'll tell you what I paid.
yeah, that's where she went shopping today. So I don't know. It's not my store.
And it was funny because the store we went to afterwards, I bought everything on sale.
Which was right next door.
Way less than I did at the other store.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And it's not even name brand stuff.
It's
boutique stuff. It's boutique stuff, which
I'll talk about it later.
I'm not familiar with that. It didn't have it. They didn't, a hat. I could afford a hat for $16, a ball cap. That's about it. But other than that, they didn't have anything else that would fit me.
They did. They had one rack that would have fit you and me.
But I couldn't afford it, so.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long that'll last in Lincoln.
I mean, with the bride stuff, though, the bougie girls
yeah.
going up there for all that
Thrift
stuff.
stores really thrive here in our town. Y'all know where I live. I've said it before, but.
Oh, it's glitter. It wasn't no rush. It hurt too bad.
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks, Austin. I look better now that I put my lips on. Okay.
I could scoot this a little bit closer, couldn't I? I know. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want a thing across the bottom.
Ticker. Can we do that on here? Or is that only on live stream?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try Restream. Brandon and Gamer Bro does Restream. It's like StreamYard, but it's... Wonder if that would make a difference. But we've been on this
We've been on YouTube before.
And on StreamYard too.
Yeah, on your laptop. It's not it's just the lighting in here.
Yeah.
You've got a great living room.
Turn this light on, see if that makes a difference.
Is the light switch over there?
No, yeah. Sorry, we're still getting set up, everybody.
We were doing TikTok dances beforehand when we were distracted.
Yeah, that didn't make a difference. I know this will, but I don't know where to set it. Can you tip that box on its side? Just tip it this way, because no, that'd be too high then, won't it?
For the light?
On the side. On the side, yeah, like that. I don't care. Sorry about that, everybody. Put the legs out. They're jacked up. I don't think that's on the side. This side. Press it. Now 1, 2. Made a little bit of difference. Woo!
Too much?
I don't know. Come here. What do you think? I think it's better. Try to get our lighting, everybody. Sorry.
Oh, Casper's entered the chat. No, it's fine. We just got to watch when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
The shadows it might throw. Oh, you can see I have makeup on now. Okay.
So how'd your work week go, Courtney?
I picked up another 16-hour shift. That's how my work week went. Another night shift into a day shift. But I actually got sleep this time, so it wasn't nearly as bad as my last Night shift.
Was that you?
What?
Must have been me.
Was me.
Was me.
Was me.
Well.
Isn't he cute? Why, bless his heart. He's adorable. Oh, hey! Hi, one of a kind. What's up?
Hey, one of a kind. Thanks for coming in.
Look what I got, one of a kind. Not the, you've already seen the ring. The knee, look at it.
Ooh,
Ooh, that
they're
really
green.
catches it. Except they change, they're not green. They change colors. There we go.
Slowly.
I'm trying to catch the other light so you can see they're different colors.
Here, let me.
It's not going to show it. They're not just green. They're like gasoline diesel colored, so they change in the light.
Here. See if that. Yeah, they're showing up green.
Yeah, that's okay. They're not, because like right now, looking at them, they look purple.
Everybody hear us okay?
We don't have mics because we're on the computer tonight, not the phone.
Well, you have fun at that birthday party.
You look nice, Brian.
We got invited to, well, Courtney got invited to a fish fry.
From my sperm donor.
I said, we should go.
No, we shouldn't. I'm almost 30 years old. I've seen that man drunk enough to last me a lifetime. I don't want to see another night.
So we went to a boutique today, one of a kind.
We did. It was fancy.
Thank you, one of a kind.
Thanks.
What's that? Oh.
Makes your keyboard go away.
Oh, I could do that.
Kind of.
Bye, Brian. Have fun.
Bye.
Let's see. Am I spelling that right?
I think so.
Oh, I won't see the chat. You will, though. I can do it on my phone, can't I? Sorry, I'm just trying different stuff here. I don't.
Party. 100. Party. I watched way too much RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh my gosh, party.
Okay. So then this happened. This tastes funny.
Because it's not McDonald's, it's kitchen sweet tea. Or does it have freezer taste? Got the freezer funk.
Mm-hmm. Trying to taste like cinnamon. Oh well. Nope. So me and Courtney went kind of shopping today. We did the downtown thing. They always say support local, shop local.
We try to support local, and local was too bougie for my pockets.
Too bougie for my pockets.
And I bought
too.
something, and it was still, after I bought it, I'm like, probably shouldn't have bought that.
So anyway, we went to a couple shops downtown. Oh, we went to 3, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I bought something. I'll show you later. I forgot I could show those. So, and then when I came home, my neighbor had my parking spot. And if anybody is familiar with trailer parks, we really only have 2 spots here. And I was like, great, because when we moved here, all 3 of us, all 4 of us, all 5 of us lived here. Me, Caitlin, Clarissa, Courtney, and Henry. And Courtney didn't have a car, didn't have a driver's license. And the girls both did.
Clarissa had a car.
Clarissa had a car.
I don't think Caitlin did yet.
Caitlin didn't have a car yet. But I'm like, what happens when Caitlin gets a car? There's going to be 3 adults. And if Courtney would have had a car. So anyway, I guess they don't think about that. But anyway, it's been all right with just 2 parking spots. But yeah, I came home today and my neighbor had my parking spot. And I'm like, oh. And they told my daughter's boyfriend the other day that he better not be parking in his spot. Well, my daughter's boyfriend parks across the street at a trailer that has no vehicles. Nobody's living in the trailer.
It's empty.
It's empty. They're paying lot rent. They're having somebody to mow it, but nobody lives there. So this guy that parks there said that my daughter's boyfriend was taking his parking spot. No. I'm sure he doesn't pay rent and he doesn't. They have 3 vehicles over there all the time. Oh, maybe it's different for them because they own their trailer. But it's not. Because when we first moved over here, they said our parking was from lamppost to lamppost. Well, we don't have a lamppost on the, let's see if we go outside, it'd be the right side of us. We do have on the left side of us, and I'm very particular not to park past that. I did one time because my brakes went out on my old car. I put the brakes on and I'm like, I shoved it in the park real quick. Almost hit his vehicle. So that didn't set well with me. And I'm like, if they're gone, and I was giving them dirty looks going to work, and they didn't pay attention.
Lucky I wasn't here and didn't witness that, because Courtney can get real ghetto real quick.
So when I went into work, I'm like, I just worked 2 hours today, and then I went and picked up Courtney. I said, if we get back and my parking place is still well, it wasn't. And I was pretty sure it was the neighbor across the way. Hey, Wolf, thanks for coming in. So it was. So I don't know, do I have gullible written across my forehead? Because one time that happened, and a little snot-nosed teenager took my place, and he had a Mercedes Benz, and I parked about that far away from him just to prove a point. And he got out and yelled at me. He was like 4 trailers down, and he stopped because I was moving my car back to where it was supposed to be parked. I parked like right in the middle of, not in the middle, but close to his car because that was in my parking spot. And he goes, do you know how much this car costs? And I said, I don't care how much your Mercedes Benz costs. I said, don't take my parking place.
Again, lucky I wasn't here because I would have been like not nearly as much as your hospital bill is about to cost. Keep running your mouth, little boy.
So
Lord help me.
I would never do that. I would even if I was gonna say even if I went over to my neighbor's that lives on the other street, I'd walk over there. I don't care if it was 10 below zero. I'd walk over there. But she's got plenty of parking because that one right across that old dilapidated trailer, it's down. So it's just the trials and tribulations of parking in a trailer park.
People don't have common courtesy or common sense.
No,
nowadays.
and my mom's trailer park that she used to live in, they had a concrete slab, and they could pull right up almost to her front door. They don't have them here. They should.
You have off-street parking if you have an older trailer, like the ones that people already own or have been here before this new company. Some of them have carports and pads off-street parking, but not a lot.
There's quite a few over there on that other side that has that.
And the one you've got some down here, but I mean the other trailer park has off because.
And that one right candy cornered from us, they have a nice deck with a hangover on theirs, and we can't have awnings. Now, the property manager before this one took over, Kim, she was really nice, and I told her about this door. I've told everybody. I don't know, I've been here almost 5 years. Well, 4. Yeah. Next year will be 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told every property manager, we've probably had different property managers, different companies buy this trailer park.
We had a new company
each
every year.
Yeah. And I've told every one of them about my front door. It's jacked up. Every time it rains, rain comes pouring in and it's ruining the floor. I have a little bit of linoleum and then I have carpet, and that carpet's been wet I don't know how many times. And you're right, Wolf. There is a lot of people that's rude and they won't fix the door. It needs a completely new door.
They should be scared, Wolf.
And
Cece's not nice.
The maintenance guy we got now is pretty good, but he said, "Oh yeah, when it warms up," because he came and fixed my oven and my kitchen sink.
It was cold.
The faucet started leaking. He said, "When it warms up," and then I called him because he said, "Call my direct line. This is my personal number. Call it. We'll get things done." Because the property manager now, she's younger and
she's a dipstick.
She doesn't get things done very quickly in the timely manner that it should be done in.
She's a dipstick.
So, hey, Billy. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Billy.
So I called him and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll be over there Monday." He wasn't here Monday. And then I had a whole fiasco with I think I told you about that, my hot water heater.
Oh.
5 days without hot water. And I called her. I had called, and I never get a person on the phone unless I call my maintenance guy, because, yeah, I got my maintenance guy's phone number. But I call over at the office, and I always get the machine. And I said, I don't want this to be another fiasco like my hot water heater was. And they got over here right away, but they still haven't fixed my door. But I'm tired of talking. It's not my trailer. The floor's going to be ruined. The door, they're going to have to completely. I think there's nothing to fix in that screen door. Because my screen door, they were trimming trees. Each trailer has a big old maple tree in between it, and they were trimming them last spring.
I think so.
Yeah. And I heard something go thud. I'm like, okay, they dropped it on the roof, no big deal. Nope, they crashed it into my screen door, and where the hinges, it's not like a pin and like a regular hinge. It like wraps around, and I'm sure they just push them in the factory, and it popped that out of there, and now my screen door is warped, and it's been blown open so many times.
At least you have a screen door.
Yeah. Courtney's screen door blew off of hers about 4 months after she moved in, and it's
No, it was gone before I even signed my lease.
yeah. Anyway, enough about complaining and moaning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's a weird URL.
Mm-hmm.
CNUOMEJXOIY. Do you watch any of Billy's videos, Courtney? She's got a 1K challenge going on, and she's got some pretty cool entries. Really nice.
I'm sorry to say that I don't watch people on YouTube. I will gladly follow your channel, but I don't sit on YouTube for hours and watch stuff.
I don't either, but I catch it here. Not well. Well, okay, okay, I do.
Yeah.
But
Miss,
not every
I'm going to
day.
look up one video of Adolf Hitler, and then 4 hours later, did you know that it was an inside job for 9/11? Mom, what have you been doing this whole time? I was on YouTube, and I was clicking video after video after video, and I'm like...
I went down that rabbit hole.
I went to look up this song of Elvis, and then I found out that there's an
Billy.
alien place out in Texas, like that kind of stuff. There's a bunker, and Elvis is in it. Yeah. No, she's never been that crazy, but yeah, there was one time, I think it was after I showed her YouTube, which is really funny, but I helped her look up something on YouTube, and then I had to go. I was in college, and I called her when I got done. I believe it was play practice, and play practice is like 4 or 5 hours. And I called her, and I was like, I'm done. I'm on my way home. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm on YouTube. I was looking at this video, and then I looked up this video, and I'm like, Mom, I've been gone. Have you been on the computer the whole time? Yeah, I really need to. I got to go to bed. And I'm like, yeah, get off the YouTube and go to sleep.
I remember I first got my PC, and
Am I not subscribed to you, Billy? Girl, I'm coming over. Hold on. I'll fix this. If I'm not subscribed, I am subscribed to you.
and they would leave on a Friday night, and I'd be there by myself. It was like, oh, I'm getting kind of hungry. Maybe I should get something to eat. And it'd be 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, oh, no wonder I'm hungry.
There was one time, I don't remember what you're doing. I was at college again, and I left for like a dance or something, and I was hanging out with my friends, and I came back, and it was later, and she was still like up on the couch. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know. What time is it? I was like, Mom, it's like 11 o'clock. She's like, oh, crap. I need to eat and go to bed. And I'm like, you haven't eaten?
And half the time I wouldn't eat. It's too late to eat.
Yes, Billy, I am a subscriber.
Wolf said.
I am subscribed. I thought I was. But I'm bad. I follow you guys, but I don't sit on YouTube. And sometimes I don't see your videos. And if I do see your videos, it probably wasn't me. Me and Henry share the same YouTube account, so I can see what he does. So he's probably clicking through stuff and found one of your videos and sat and watched it or something, because I honestly don't.
He got in trouble for watching.
Well, I don't think it was him. I just did that I restricted his YouTube a little bit harder, but I think his older brother showed him something, and then his dad wanted to blame it on me.
And Henry got scared. It was some game, wasn't it?
I guess he was watching stuff about Squid Games. If anybody knows about that show. I didn't personally watch it, but I heard it was gruesome. And I guess, well, he told me a couple weeks before he went to his dad's that his dad and his dad's girlfriend were going to dress up like the red guys from Squid Games. I'm assuming those are the guards or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't care. And then I guess he went to his dad's and had a nightmare and was sleeping in his dad's closet. And his dad called me upset and said that he had a nightmare about Squid Games and I need to watch. I shouldn't watch stuff like that around Henry. And I was like...
And left a message on Henry's...
Oh, Henry has the cell phone, if you guys saw the Christmas video. And we have a group chat with all me and my mom and my sisters in it, so we can send stuff like that. And I added him to it because obviously I'm not going to give Henry a phone and not have his dad on it. But he sent a message to the group about, you need to watch what you watch with Henry and blah, 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 blah. And it was a big, long, stupid rant because he's notorious for those. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I had no idea what he was talking about. I was like,
she's the one that watches him. My sisters hardly ever watch him anymore. Clarissa, I can't remember the last time he spent any significant amount of time with Clarissa.
Now, Caitlin will every once in a while.
Yeah, but still, Caitlin wouldn't show him Squid Game stuff. They'll sit there and watch Bluey and Disney crap together.
And what was that one? Oh,
Blippi.
Oh my gosh. And that other little one that he goes, I don't watch that anymore. That's for little kids. The little cartoon characters, what was it? Everybody's watching it. All the little kids were watching it. And Caitlin goes, you want to watch that? Other day he was here and he goes, no, that's for little kids. And she goes, you used to watch it. Every time he was here. I wouldn't let him watch it out here, Caitlin. He had to go into Caitlin's room and watch it.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I restricted his YouTube, and I was letting him get on regular YouTube because he would watch this one kid that plays Minecraft. And so I restricted his YouTube to just kids' YouTube, and we were doing okay with that.
Now look at that light. It's not as bright.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it does that.
It's your battery pack.
But it's like at 80-some%. Look, the big gamer Wolf has never heard of Squid Games.
Like I said, I didn't watch it.
I've never heard of it either.
It's like death games. There's like hundreds of people, and it's Japanese, and they all play these games, and whoever wins like a $3 million or 3 million yikes or yokes or whatever it is over there. I forgot. Yins.
Yin.
Yokes. Oh, Courtney.
Yikes. Yikes.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it's not my forte. Not something death games is not my.
Oh, what's that? If I click on it?
I should have brought my books over and showed my Mother's Day haul. I got nails for Mother's Day if anybody was interested, and it's called Clockwork Cat Eye, and it changes colors.
It's showing green now.
I know, but it's like gasoline if you. Yeah, Zach paid to get my nails done, and then we had to go to his work and pick up his mom's Mother's Day gift, and then he took me to the happiest place on earth. Barnes & Noble, because I like the bookstore, and I got 3 new books. Because I'm special.
These are thermal.
Cool.
I could put those in my little printer, and I don't know how I bet it has a label setting in it, though.
Might.
I could just see.
What books did you get? I got a big, thick history book of the Russian Tsar family, the Romanovs, which led to Anastasia. I got a big, thick book about their whole family reign, and I'm slowly reading that. I'm only a few pages in, where it just gives you... Always. Had to touch it up. You missed that whole fun. Doing my lipstick on live. Anyway, I got the Romanov book, which I'm super happy to read that. I got another book called The Pumpkin Queen. And if anybody knows anything about Nightmare Before Christmas, it's about after all that when Jack and Sally rule Halloween Town. I guess I haven't started reading it yet. That's just the synopsis I got. And some other Sally finds another world. It's Dream World, and And then I got another one that's Disney themed, and it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's told by the stepmother. So it's the wicked stepmother's point of view. I want to say it's called Wicked Wishes or something like that. I don't know.
Who says, ooh, I love Jack.
Yeah. So those are the 3 books I got.
We're really behind.
And yeah. Oh, I got a new pair of shorts. But Zach didn't buy those for me. I bought them because they were on sale, and Zach was mad because I wouldn't let him buy me a pair of $20 shorts that I feel are too short and I really don't want to wear, but I wore them out in public today.
Okay, Billy, thanks for coming in.
Ooh, what's she gonna eat?
What you having for dinner?
We had McDonald's for really late lunch, so I don't know if we're gonna eat dinner or not. Maybe ice cream.
Ever since the other day was National Pizza Day, I've been hungry for pizza.
Good pizza though.
Like Sorrento's that we don't have anymore.
We have Sorrento's.
Where's it at?
It's 2 doors down.
Oh. I thought they sold that.
No, it's on the other. They have it listed, but nobody's bought it yet. Yeah, it's on the other side of the Copper Penny.
What are you having for dinner, Wolf? Or did you have dinner already? Or are you on the same time as us, Wolf?
We're fat. We like food. Tell us what you're eating.
This is a conversation thing.
That boot was my dinner.
Yeah, it has a label thing. Did you see me?
Mm-hmm. That's what you're pointing to.
I don't know how to do that though. I'm going to have curry and hummus. Ooh.
Curry.
I don't like curry.
I'm not a spice person, so I'm a wimp with my curry, but curry. Oh, I got 3 messages. Oh, it's all in the wedding chat. What size is it? Oh, like a 16 or 18?
Gotta see how my cubbies are doing. They're losing badly. We beat the Phillies last night 10-1, and it's flip-flop today. Oh, we've scored 3, but it's the bottom of the 8th. It's 11-3.
Of course she wants pictures of a dress that I put on almost a year ago.
So Courtney's getting married in September, and her best friend's getting married in October in Florida. So, hey, Mark, how you doing? I really enjoyed your live last night. If you all haven't got Mark, Rob, pick him up and go over there. And he does paintings and he does preaching and he
with his belly button pierced.
Sorry.
Picture of my son's father.
Be strong and dig in. I just don't like curry. I had it once. Maybe it was too much. I think it was
be strong and dig it. I'm pretty sure I have a stomach ulcer from all the meds I was on when I was sick, and spicy food sets me off.
Maybe I made it. I don't know. Like I said, I had it once and I really didn't care for it. So
maybe I need to make curry then.
Maybe we need to
revisit that. Yeah. Oh, Alicia liked my wedding dress. Well, thanks. I'm not gonna wear it. I told Char if she wanted a wedding dress because she's all freaked out about going dress shopping, that I would give her my wedding dress. And she's like, I don't want to take your wedding dress. And I was like, I'm not gonna wear it. So take it.
Other night I had I'm hooked on the
what did you eat?
The smart ones.
Oh.
The chicken enchiladas, and it has jalapenos in it. But this time it wasn't as hot. The first time I had it, I'm like, woo! That's spicy. And they show the jalapenos on the package, so
I like spicy food. I just can't. Yeah. My body says no thank you. I'll eat it and it'll be fine. And then probably on the way home is when I'll start getting the sweats and then the stomach cramps. And then it's either coming this end or the other end, or maybe both sometimes. Who knows? But yeah, I would rather give birth with no numbing agents than have to deal with my stomach after eating something spicy. And I know you're a man wolf, but that means something when I'd rather drop out a kid natural than eat spicy food.
Sorry. I used to eat, me and a friend, we used to bowl on Thursday nights, and we'd get the munchies because we'd be having a little liquid refreshments, adult liquid refreshments, and we would eat.
I never get hungry when I drink.
We would eat nachos from the
bowling alley nachos are the best though.
Yeah, and they'd have the little thing of cheese, which it was good. Monkeys. So, and then we would get a little cup of jalapenos, and they were the pickled jalapenos. Those are good. And they weren't hot. They were the pickled, so they weren't hot.
Yeah, they're just more vinegary.
They're really, I don't know, they taste like pickles to me.
Which, funny, I can eat Tabasco sauce. That doesn't bother me, probably because of the vinegar in it.
Yeah. Frank's Red Hot.
But, I can't get Frank's Hot. It's like putting spicy vinegar in your mouth. I can't. Valentino's hot sauce. I super can't eat it. Tears me up. But Valentino's.
Yeah, I think it would be. Well, I don't know.
We team bowled. She had me on a team, and I think they ruined the joy of bowling for me because I don't like bowling anymore. They were mean.
Yeah, when she was younger, she bowled on an all girls team, and it was every Saturday morning. And yeah, that was fine, but
they were really competitive.
Yeah, and the girl she bowled with, she really didn't know anybody. And they were really mean to her because Courtney at the time was going through her illness. And she had a pick line, and it was right here in her bend of her elbow. And it was and it went straight to her lungs. So she had to keep that covered, taped up and everything. And everybody said, oh, she has AIDS. And they were so mean.
Girls are rude.
And I told the kind of like the director, kind of the team captain, she was a mom. No, she didn't have any kids though, did she?
The program director is who you talked to.
Yeah.
She was a friend of ours.
And she goes, well, why don't you have a meeting? And I'm like, I shouldn't have to have a meeting. But I did. And I said, Courtney does not have AIDS. She's gaining weight because she's on steroids, prednisone. And from then on, it wasn't any better.
They were just they're like the professional bowl. Like that's what they were striving for. And I wasn't. I was doing it for fun. And they were super mean because I wasn't great. I wasn't terrible.
Tara. Was Tara on your team?
No, Tara was the alternate team that I ended up going to state with.
Yep. Yep. My best friend's daughter. I thought we were on her team, but we weren't. But Courtney got to go to state up in Peoria. And
I got a whole list, Wolf.
Yeah,
girls are mean.
My friend, she's like, I'll say, hey, let's go to Wisconsin for the weekend. I mean, I don't talk to her a lot anymore, but do you know the way? Oh, how far is it? And she would never take off and drive. I'm like, hey, it's a new place. It's 4 hours away from here. Let's go. Let's get on my GPS
Zach's
and let's go.
Way. I wanted to go to Nauvoo because they've got all that summer stuff going on. And I was like, let's just pack up one weekend because we both have the same weekend.
That'd be a nice trip.
And just go to Nauvoo and do something for the day. He's like, what? Just take off and don't figure out where you're going to go. I'm like, no, do you not just take off and go the direction of Salem? And then if you end up in Salem, you stay for the afternoon, drive towards Nauvoo. And if we get there, if we get distracted by Amish country, then whatever.
Hey.
I'm
I
like,
guess that's the dad in me, my dad in me, because he.
that's why me and Char are friends. Because man, I'd be like, let's jump in the Tahoe and go. When she had her Explorer, not a Tahoe, she had her Explorer. I'd be like, let's go drive in the country. And 4 hours later, we wouldn't really know where we were, but we were in front of a beautiful field and an awesome sunset. Like, oh hey, I want to go to NIU. Let's travel up there one weekend. I don't know how to get up there, so here, let's MapQuest it and figure out how to not get towed.
MapQuest.
Yeah, good old MapQuest.
Tom.
I think we MapQuested because we didn't think our phones would work, because we were taking back roads because there's tolls up there out of college, and we just took off and we went up there so that she could tour the campus.
Somebody was talking. Maybe it was
That's that day we drug Kevin out of his dorm room by his ankles because he wouldn't get up.
That one. Somebody was talking about kids nowadays, they can't read there was a lady, she was doing a comedy skit, and she said the Gen Zs, they can't read a paper map. Like, there was 3 things, and she goes, if they take over the world, we can take it back really fast because they don't know how to read a map, and they can't get anywhere without their phone, and they can't read a paper map. And yeah, I was always, it was funny.
Rotary phone, wasn't it? They can't dial a rotary phone?
No, it wasn't that. I don't know. It was something. She goes, if they take over the world, we don't have any problems. We can get it back really fast. Yeah, I was always the navigator. I always read the map for my dad. My mom and my sister, well, my mom sat in the front seat a lot, but there was one time we were going up to Chicago or near Chicago to see my older brother, and I was chatting away with my dad, and I seen a sign that said Aurora, and I go, Aurora? What? Aurora, Illinois? I go, what's that? And pretty soon my dad veered off to Aurora, Illinois. Oh, he was so mad at me, and I'm like, I didn't say. I said, I just asked about Aurora, Illinois. So, but yeah, and I'm pretty good with directions. And if I go somewhere strange and I'll try to pick up landmarks, like, oh, we turn left at that school, or we turn left at the fire station, something that's going to be there, not left at that mall, because in 6 months that mall won't be there, My dad always said like trees and stuff, but you can't do that anymore because there's hardly any trees. Back in his day, there was, turn left at that big oak tree.
I follow a lady or a dude on TikTok that puts a wig on and acts like an old Southern lady giving directions, and it's always, remember that church down there that we went to, that one Pentecostal revival and we left because they was carrying the snakes? Well, you go to that one and then you go clean down until you get to Mr. Parker's cornfield, the one that's half dead because all the kids go driving through. Then you make a right, like that kind of directions. I was like, ugh. I'm not directionally, I'm directionally handicapped.
Directionally challenged.
Me and my son's father used to get into fights because he'd be like, just head north. And I'm like, what is north?
No, don't tell me north.
He was giving me directions one time because they were working on the exit up where he lives. He's like, you're going to have to, and if you miss it, you're going to have to go drive clean to the other city to turn back around because there's no turn offs. And I'm like, what do you mean go north? What do you mean? I'm like, he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're a grown woman. You don't even know. I'm like, sir. And my dad does the same thing. He was a truck driver, so he knows, but he'll be like, head west on 144. And I'm like, what is west? What is west? I'm like, how do I get on 144?
But now, like, my car has a compass in it, so I know that I'm heading south. Or, well, my dad taught me too. The sun comes up in the
Apple
east,
and Google.
It sets in the west. I got that, and he always told me, and I'm so grateful that he was like a survivalist. If you get lost out in the woods, just remember that the
I get lost in the woods, I'm staying in my
the
circle.
moss grows on the north side of the tree. That's why I have that green stuff on the north side of my trailer.
I get lost in the woods. You'll be able to find me because I'll stay put. I'm not.
One time I was teasing my cousin. He lives in Indiana, and it's where he lives is due north from here. I mean, And he said, I told him, I said, I'm coming up here when when zombie apocalypse comes, or the apocalypse. I said, I'm heading up here because he has ammo and he's very well. He's a survivalist. If anywhere, I would
Guns,
go
he
up there.
hunts.
Yeah, he
He's got it
hunts. He
down.
knows how to live off the land. His dad taught him
He
that.
makes his own ammo.
Yeah, and I said, I'm coming up here, and I told my supervisor at the time, I said, she goes, they'll shut down all the interstates, and he goes, if they do, he goes, get you an old Boy Scout compass, one of those, that you don't need your phone for a compass, because I got a phone, I got a compass on my phone, but if the apocalypse comes, everything's going to be shut down. And he says, yes, crossbow.
Yes. And a motorcycle.
Yeah, he said, just get you old Boy Scout, an old compass, and he goes, head due north, and he goes, you'll be up. And I know how to go the back roads up there anyway. I don't need the interstate. I might have a little bit of trouble. No, I don't think I would, because there's one part, like we go from here to one town on the interstate, and then I turn off that town and I take a 2-lane highway up the rest of the way. But I think I could find my way up to that. Get out the old paper map and I can find my way up there.
Map, but yeah, that's why I don't take directions from Wayne.
I used to be that. I still am to a point, but I'm like, no. So they're saying go north and then you turn south. Well, if you were going north and you turn south and you turn completely around. But anyway, I said, no, left or right.
I need details like exit numbers, mile markers, like.
Hey, that's helpful.
Just like telling me to go south on 144. I'm like, what?
That's in St. Louis.
I know. I didn't want to say anything close. Like Atlanta, there was a guy when I was down in Atlanta at the farmer's market that told me like how to go somewhere in the city. He's like, well, and I'm like, my 2 feet ain't gonna get me there. I'm not driving down here. Mm-mm.
I've heard of those.
Mm-hmm. They have electric motorcycles that don't sound like anything. I've seen videos of them.
That's what you need for the walkers, because the walkers hear you on your motorcycle.
But there's no way to charge your electric motorcycle because there's no electricity. The grid's down. Unless you're smart and get one of those solar chargers. I didn't know that. Do you know that they make zombie-proof tires that are all like supported on the inside? It's like hard plastic. You can drive on them. They don't deflate.
My buddy in high school had bicycle tires. They were all rubber. It was a rough ride, but I'm like, hey, like for a mountain bike, that would be great because you're up in the mountains, and you don't have a way to change your tube in your bicycle tire. Yeah, it was just like on the street. It was a pretty rough ride, but while you think about it, your rubber, your tube gives you a little bit give, but
get a little cushion.
Yeah. I did a history video about when Firestone introduced the tubeless tire.
It's almost 6 o'clock. I guess I should go through my haul, shouldn't I?
All right, Courtney's going to show you some things we got today. She got today. Look at this pretty silver bag they gave you at the boutique. And what's the name of the boutique, Courtney?
I got to look it up. We have a new boutique that opened up in our downtown area. I, being a connoisseur of the retail therapy, talked Ma into going.
I will not go shopping there again.
Della Bliss.
There's nothing there for me to wear. A hat, a $16 hat.
There was one rack that had clothes that could have fit us, and it's expensive, like stupid expensive.
$52 for like a little sundress. I'm like, there's not $52 worth of material in this thing.
This thing that I bought, hold on, I'll tell you exactly because I'll pull up my receipt.
These darn phones, they just have everything on them.
I got Mom
what do we do without
an air
them?
freshener. It's an all-natural one where the oil drips in the wood. It's cute. for her car. I paid $10 for that.
It's a little bitty jar. I'm serious. It's like 2 inches long, like that. It has a little. It had a little rubber stopper in it, a little plastic stopper, and then it has the wood stopper in it, and then a piece of jute string and a bead on that. And
Paid $10 for that. Then I got a Yellowstone t-shirt.
$30
Mm-hmm.
for glitching.
Yeah.
Salon and boutique. Why is it a salon?
I think they might have something to do with that new waxing place, esthetician that's downtown.
Mm.
But yeah, I paid $30 for that. And now I semi-regret it. Anyway. And then we went next door to our local Hallmark store. And I had to get this for Henny. We represent the lollipop guild. The lollipop. Anyway,
How about what Marshone have?
the katana.
Yeah, the katana. You need a katana too, Wolf.
But he was half price, and I was hoping I could find some more, but I realized he's half price because they're probably discontinued. But I wanted to find some more for him. I was going to buy the set or at least the main characters, but it's okay. I found this one. He'll love that.
He wants to be that. We always go to that.
Your third annual Wizard of Oz festival.
Yeah, a Wizard of Oz festival every year. That it's about 30 miles, 45 miles from here, and they have it at a really nice state park. And it's a Wizard of Oz festival. Oh, we're glitching again. So, last year Henry dressed like
the Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
Made his costume.
And
I dressed like retro Dorothy.
This year he wants to go as that character.
The Lollipop Guild.
Turn this off.
So yeah, and I got this shirt. It's Simply Southern, if y'all know Simply Southern. And I think the back says something about faith.
Let faith, not fear, be your compass. We're just talking about compasses.
And everything that I got at Hallmark was half off, so I spent way less than I did at the freaking boutique. And then we went to a thrift store and I got some stuff, but I'm not about to show that on camera. I bought some foundation garments. And I'm not going to model those on YouTube because I would like her channel to stay PG.
And I want to get monetized soon, so.
And nobody needs to see my undergarments on the
Get
YouTubes.
my thrift store buys. I'll show Wolf what I got at thrift store.
Oh, you're.
See if you can do something with that light. Like shut the power pack off and then turn it back on. It's on the side. No. That button on the side. This side. The power pack. See, it's 80%. Okay, now turn it back on. We're trying to get some more lighting in here. Now, hold it in for a minute, shut it off, and then turn it back on. And then 1, 2, 3. It's not as bright as it used to be. I got some lights in my cart at Temu, but they're $17 a piece. But I'm like, they're big square ones, and I think they'd be a lot better for my videos and stuff. So I got these nice storage, heavy plastic, and you could still see through what you got in there with nice lids. What's my favorite food? Austin says. Thanks for coming back, Austin. Yes, tigers and lions too, Wolf. And I got these for $5. Two of them. That's pretty good, isn't it? Because originally those probably cost
At least 20.
$20 a piece, $10 a piece. Yeah, that's when that season when they came in with the lions and tigers, the Gabriel, is that what it was? Ezekiel. I quit watching. I don't know. We moved and we didn't have cable, and then we had cable. Ooh, that sounds good, Austin. Homemade chicken and
A little
dumplings.
warm for chicken dumplings.
Yeah.
I do want a chicken pot pie though.
Ooh. I don't know. I have lots of favorite foods. I'm not picky.
The fat girl in me says I will never turn down pasta. So Italian.
And wolves, yes. We need wolves. Pack animals.
I'm fluent in riding horses. Very proficient. Used to be a junior rodeoist.
Junior rodeoist. Might as well shut that line off. It's not doing anything,
It's
Courtney.
not, and now Casper's back. Where's your ring light?
Buried in my craft room. It's on my desk. Don't try to move it because it's strategically placed in there.
Okay. Well, all right. And the other thing that I did not buy today. I bought it yesterday, actually. But I was in need of a hairdryer because it's a lot. And I have one of those cute little Revlon, like brushy things to dry your hair with. And it's nice, but sometimes I don't want to spend an hour brushing my hair out and drying it. So I was shopping for a hairdryer, and I don't like the cheap $15 ones that, yes, I can get, and they're cheap, but they only last me like 2 hair dryers because this is a lot. So this was $30, maybe $35. Altogether with shipping, I ended up paying $40. So for $40, I got this styling tool with these attachments, cheaper than a good hairdryer. So
How would that be? 2 of them. But they're only like.
do they have diffusers on them, or will we have to buy diffusing separately? Because it'll be like that, just that straight white light on you with no diffusing screen.
I don't know.
We can make a diffusing screen from a couple of color folders.
Okay.
But yeah, those would be good. But
They're 6 by 9.
those will be good light. But like I said, we'll probably need to diffuse a little bit because that white light will
Heavy duty light, adjustable tripod stand with 1.1 meter bracket for photo studio, speed light, ring light, photographing.
We'll try it.
But is that a good price?
Yeah. Oh.
For one.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Sorry, we were checking out something on Temu. That's a hairdryer. It looks like my
Well, this is the hairdryer.
it looks like my
It looks like a lightsaber.
no, my heat gun. I have a heating gun. Actually, Courtney gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I got another one. Okay. I don't know.
Here's a hairdryer.
It's like Dyson, but it's like
I did not spend $600 on this. Like I said, I paid $40 altogether for it.
I thought it was a flashlight. Yeah, it does look like a laser pointer. A lifesaver. I thought they were saying saver. It's saber.
Now when I dry my hair, I'm.
Does the hair go in there?
No, this blows out. But these cool, this is a curling iron. There it
Get
is.
it in there right.
And so if I'm doing this, it'll go that way. Anyway, okay, so you put it up to your hair and you get your little strand of hair, and it sucks the hair around this. And I already played with it earlier, and boy, does it curl on my dry, nasty hair because it needs to be washed. I like this because I'm fat and my arms hurt with my straightener. I have a straightener that I curl with and just standing there holding my hair the whole time. And
That's the same thing.
yeah, but one goes one direction, the other one goes the other direction for either side of your hair.
Fancy.
See, that's my this one little arrows. It'll curl this way, so that one curls this way.
Yes, wolf lifesaver would be a good weapon for the zombie apocalypse.
Very quiet.
But the light would attract more.
Yeah, but you could be like the Force. That's a sleeping brush. That's how you get straight hair. And that's a round brush to get those big bouncy blowout curls, like when you go to a fancy salon. I'm quoting what the book said. Big bouncy curls, like a blowout. Big bouncy blowout curls. Anyway, this would be like what my device does already, where you brush it through your hair and it usually keeps it pretty. I like the way my hair looks after that. But 3 hours of drying my hair with that thing is not fun.
3 hours?
Yeah, because there's a lot of hair and you can't just like I have to section, blow dry this out, and then you got to roll up to your scalp with it, and then you got to let the next section down, blow dry them all out. There's at least 3 to 4 sections depending on how big I want to go.
5 minutes for this beautiful cascading hair.
I don't want my hair that short. I'm trying to live out my Priscilla Presley dream, so it's got to stay long and it's going to stay black.
I've had hair long once. My dad was a big... It's weird because usually most men like long hair. My dad did not like long hair. Although my mom had long hair.
But she kept it up.
She kept it up all the time. She had like a bouffant. And then if that wasn't enough, she had a hairpiece that went on top. And she worked for a lady that was like one of her perks to go to the big salon at the mall and get their hair done every Friday. They wouldn't do it in between. They would get done every Friday. And my mom, I remember she used to sleep on a silk pillowcase. And that would drive me crazy. If I don't wash my hair in 2 days, it gets all greasy. And Courtney's the same way.
I mean, I don't wash it every day, every other day at least. And I'm
Me
really
too,
bad 'cause
Wolf.
Sometimes I go like every 3 or 4 days. But yeah, work. If I just keep it up, nobody can tell. And I'll go a little bit longer.
This mall that I'm talking about, we use, like I said, me and my sister, we go every Friday because that was a treat. An hour, because the salon would open an hour before the mall would, and we had to sit there and listen to old ladies gossip. And this one lady, they used to make fun of her. She used to have eyebrows like me, and she'd take the comb and get real close to the mirror and comb her eyebrows. So anyway, we'd have to wait for an hour, and then me and my sister would take off. And I think my mom, well, when we got older, of course, we made our own money, but I think my mom would give us $1. No, that's not right. Yeah, because we used to buy every Friday. We used to buy, this was in the summer when we didn't have school. We used to buy a 45 record for 25 cents. And then, no, maybe it's $2. And then we'd go to the Orange Bowl and get a slice of pizza and an orange drink. I think that was $1, 50 cents for the slice of pizza, 50 cents for the orange drink.
Dang.
And sometimes we'd splurge and get 4 records. Yeah, I think, Mom, that doesn't seem right because we didn't have an allowance. Maybe we weren't old enough to drive or have our own. I don't know.
She didn't give you $1 to be like, get out of my hair.
Maybe
like I do with
that's
Henry's
not
tablet, where I'm like, take this.
Well,
and
she did work, and those. It might have been her boss that gave her the money too, because they spoiled us. We were like their second granddaughters. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to the mall. Of course, when I was a teenager,
There
it
ain't
was
nothing
like
good at the malls around here.
it's like
Except for
20,
Hot Topic.
20 miles away, and ooh, that was a big thing to do. Go cruise the mall.
Oh,
go.
and Bath and Body Works. I was gonna hit that place up. Love the smells.
But the mall that I used to go to isn't even not. I mean, the building's there, but up in Pekin, it's got big lots, and I think that's it left in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Pekin Mall ain't got a whole lot of jack squat.
They used to have Sears, J.C. Penney's, and that was the happening place to go. Yeah, I don't know when the last time I
The
was
mall is
at
where
the
the old
mall.
ladies go to walk when it rains.
Walmart here. I think they kind of did away with that.
Depends on when you go to the mall in Springfield, because that one time I went shopping with Char and I was like, is it old lady day today? And they all had the little fanny packs and they were speed walking the mall. It's like a biker gang, but old ladies in fanny packs. It's Skechers.
Skechers.
Swing your cord around. That's unladylike.
Oh, there's my. I was going to do my Temu haul on here, but I'm going to save that. I'm going to do video.
Oh, you should do it. I want to see it.
I'll
Do it.
do it after the live.
Do it.
After the live. Well, I wish more people was in here. I would tell my testimony, my second half of my testimony. I told the kind of like the first half. Yeah, but it's got hairspray in it.
Nah, I'll make it work.
No.
I can't do my hair. It looks awful. I haven't even brushed it today.
Our neighbor's yelling at her husband.
Go there and get throat punched.
He's weed whacking.
You're going to hit my flowers.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. So last week, where did I leave off, Courtney?
I am the wrong person to ask. I've done strangled oxygen tanks and been called an ugly lady this week. I don't know nothing that happened last week.
I remember telling about my divorce.
I think we were up to when I was sick.
Yeah, and Courtney was sick, and I remember they said that I had to take her blood pressure at home. Hi, Brandon Joseph.
I don't think we got to the central line part. I think we got to when I just started seeing my specialist.
Yeah. So anyway, Courtney had to have a PICC line in, and they said, you have to no.
A what? Child. I don't even have time to unpack that.
So Courtney had to have a PICC line, and the PICC line is they put a line.
They put a gigantic IV.
Yeah, it's not a port; it's a thing, and it went straight to her lungs. Her lungs
A
was
port was more permanent. This was
Yeah.
more temporary because I wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
I had it in for less than 6 months.
And was it every day, Courtney? You had to do that?
Yeah, 4 hours every day because I had to do the 2 hours of medicine and the 2 hours of a flush.
Yeah. So every day, Courtney had to sit in this chair in our living room, and I had to administer her medicine to her. And when they first told me about it, I remember praying. I'm like, God, you know I didn't want to be a nurse. You know that. At one time I did, but I'm like, I couldn't handle it. And they said, you have to learn to take a blood pressure. What else did they say I had to do? And I'm like, oh. And the one lady goes, oh, like a home nurse came in and showed us how to set it up and everything. I mean, we had the IV, what's that called?
I had an IV pull. I had an IV machine.
IV pull.
My
IV
medicine
machine.
got delivered every month.
Yeah,
in
we had
cold
to
Kate in cold packs.
we had to keep it in the bottom of the refrigerator, and so they finally came out and said, Colleen, you don't have to learn to do a blood pressure. It's really hard. Well, Courtney knows how, and Caitlin does, and they go, it's not really hard, Mom. But anyway, they said take her temperature and just watch, when you're administering the medicine, just watch. So I'm doing the alcohol wipe on the thing that she has in her arm, and putting the medicine in. They told me, and I got to,
flushes.
I got to learn how to program it and
prime my line so I didn't get any.
put the, so she didn't get any air in there, and it was crazy. So I did all that. I was like, God guide me in this. It's my daughter I'm taking care of. So every day, 2 hours, we had to sit down. It was 4 hours. 2 hours for the medicine, and then
2 hours for a flush.
2 hours, and then she had to sit there, make sure temperature didn't go up, or I don't know. There's several things I had to watch for, because this medicine they had her on was totally experimental.
Mm-hmm.
And then one night we got a call from Dr. Chadre and said, well, remember the liver precautions I told you about? And I'm like, yeah, well, Courtney's got that. Her liver was starting to kind of break down, and she had, her potassium levels were really low.
Still is.
I'm like, can't she eat a banana? They said, no, it's lower than that. And we had to get these little tablets like Alka-Seltzer, and they were orange. And to this day, she cannot drink orange soda.
I don't like orange flavored stuff.
Orange flavored nothing. Jello, soda. She can drink orange juice, but it was. And I'm like, really? What else? What else can go wrong? But that was just kind of
that was temporary.
Yeah.
Once I stopped taking that medicine.
That was a bump in the road. And then she had to be put on steroids. And that's when all the, are you pregnant? She was in high school. Are you pregnant? I'm like, really?
I had to go talk to my disciplinary principal because she thought I was on drugs.
Yeah. The principal. Why are you gaining so much weight, Courtney? Courtney basically told her, it's none of your business.
And then she got a call for that because I was rude.
So anyway, we got through all that, and then I fell in love. I thought I did. Well, that's now you and Zach. So anyway,
my husband.
I started dating this guy, and he was pretty good. I mean, he believed in like disciplining my children. We had the same moral values and everything. So we thought.
Somebody more values a little looser than others.
Yeah, he put on a good show for quite a while. But ended up he moved in with me, and come on.
I'm not eating on camera.
He was into drugs, into the cocaine, and
disco dust.
He hid it from me very well. And then one night he came home and he says, I can't do it anymore. And he like kind of spilled the beans, and he said, I gotta go up. Will you take me up to the complex, the police complex? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I was totally confused. I had no idea. And he said, I'm in trouble. I need help. I need to go to the police complex. And I'm still not comprehending what he wants me to do. He wants me to take him to the police station. He did not have his license. He did not have a car. I drove him everywhere. And it worked for a while because we worked at the same place. But anyway, so I drove him up to the complex and I'm like, I don't understand. And he had a warrant for his arrest and I didn't understand that. And our boss at the time, his son worked up there at the complex. And he said, "Wow, you turned yourself in and Jeff didn't um he he said, "Yeah, I'm turning myself in because I need help." That was his cry for help. And like I said, I didn't understand it. So the jailer lady was a friend of my ex boyfriend's, and she called me and she said, "Colleen, this is so and so. I just want you to know that Jeff's okay, blah, 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 blah." So when Jeff got home, he was like searching through the phone book. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I got to go to rehab." So I'm like, "Okay." And he went to rehab about an hour and a half away from here. And I lied to my girls and told them that he was working a different job, trying to make more money. And all this time I'm saying, or God's telling me, "Why are you lying to your kids? Why are you lying to your kids?" Well, I thought I was doing him a favor, but I wasn't. I was doing him a disservice. So he came out of rehab doing pretty good. He stayed clean and sober for quite, well, I'm not going to say that because he smoked marijuana every day, so he wasn't clean and sober. But he was away from the heavy narcotics for, or cocaine's not a narcotic.
It is narcotic.
Yeah,
Supposedly 8 years.
for 8 years. And then I don't know, all of a sudden it hit him again like a brick wall. And I knew. And his former boss called me and said, "Colleen, da 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 da." He had some mixed up problems at work. And I kind of thought something about it because he asked me to get him a large sum of money. I mean, not, it wasn't over $1,000. It was between $100 and $300, the middle of that. And I'm like, "What?" And he gave me this cockamamie story about an employee took the money, and if he didn't, he was the manager, he was assistant manager at this place. If he didn't get, and I was like, "You should not be responsible for that. The employee should be." And I was like, "Why am I believing that?" And I did. And I took out a loan, and it was for his drugs. And then he spent 30 days in jail for embezzlement because he embezzled from the fast food restaurant that he was working for. And so he should have been in big trouble for that, but no.
I think his
Hi, Blonde
boss
Amazon.
covered some of that up for him.
Huh?
I think Dave.
I don't think so. Not the way he talked to me about it.
Well, he might have made that go away for that and then
Yeah.
cut ties.
Yeah. So anyway, so that 30 days he spent in jail, I was, my mind was going. I'm like, all right, this is it. I got to get out of this relationship. I'm done. Packed up threw his clothes in a garbage bag, and when he got home, I was going to throw them out and said, "There you go.
I was pregnant at the time too.
Hit the road, Jack." No, this is before. This is when we were still in Lincoln, Courtney.
Oh, okay.
And so he got out, and he was staying with. Yeah, I kicked him out, and I said, "No more. See ya." Well, he had come by the house to get something else that I'd forgot, and I packed it in a box and I put a Bible right on top. And all this time I was going to church, And he goes, "Oh, thank you for this Bible." And I said, "Yeah, you need to read it." So, and I think I even highlighted some verses or wrote some verses down on a piece of paper and stuck them in the Bible. So, I don't know. He came over one night and he was talking to me and he said his yes, you're right, Wolf. Very true. So he came over and kind of sweet talked me and said, not really sweet talked me, said, "Hey, um, my stepdad said, how much are we paying for rent here? We could pay the same rent over in a town 8 miles from here. Um, and we could buy this house." And I'm like, "What?" And it was just like too good to be true. And I should have put on the brakes right then and there, but I didn't. I followed my heart instead of my head. And I just thought, and I told him, I said, "This is God. It's nothing that I did. It's nothing that you did. This is God, what God wants. It's not because of our good works. It's not because of your good works, because, you know, and I'm not saying like I was perfect, and I wasn't. I was far from perfect. So we picked up and moved over to the town about 8-10 miles from here in hopes to buying our dream house. And my dream house, it was my dream house. And it was like contract for deed. We just started paying rent, and his stepdad made us typed up a contract, and we read it, and it was perfectly legal and everything. So we're making payments on the house, paying rent, and it went good for about probably 6 months. Then we got behind on rent. My money was disappearing, not knowing where it's going. He's lying to me, and I'm on to him.
I was stealing your money.
What?
I was stealing your money. You were having to take care of me.
Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, and yeah, that's what his sister said, and all the time he was. So one night I just got wise, and I'm like, I'm done. He got off of work like at, I don't know, 6 or 7, and he didn't come rolling in the door till like 10 o'clock. And I go, "Where have you been?" He goes, "Working." And I go, "No, you haven't been." And we got in a big shouting match. The girls wasn't there because they're still going to their dad's on Friday nights, staying the weekend. So
Were they or were they at a friend's? I thought they'd stopped going by the time we moved to Middletown.
yeah,
They were probably at a friend's house.
they're probably at. Anyway, we got in a big fight, big shouting match, and I was like, "I'm done. You got to get out. I'm done." So I went to the bathroom, and like a dummy, I left my purse sitting on the dining room table. He grabbed my debit card, and out the door he went. By the time I got back to where in the dining room, realized my debit card was gone, I jumped in the car and tried to go after this car. I had no idea what car I was looking for, and I couldn't find him. That was on a Friday night. Didn't hear anything from him till Tuesday, the next Tuesday. And I'm putting on Facebook, "Has anybody seen Jeff? Where's Jeff? Has anybody seen Jeff?" And some people goes, "Yeah, I seen him," and da 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 da. Well, Courtney's friend, he took my debit card and drained it. And it was like 605 gas station, 610 gas station, a withdrawal. That, like, it wasn't even an hour between, it was like 15 minutes because I got the printout from my bank. And
she had just left her job at the college, so it was her last paycheck, all of her vacation time or sick time. Did you cash out your 401k? No. So it was just like all of her vacation and sick time. Like they cashed out everything.
It was a nice check. and he blew all that with it.
Within the weekend.
Yeah, it was all gone by Saturday night, and it wasn't a lot of money, but it was a
We're
lot.
poor, so
Yeah.
that was a lot of money.
Yeah. So didn't hear from him. I'm worried sick. I mean, I'm mad, but I'm still worried about him. So Courtney had a friend. This was against HIPAA, but anyway, she had a friend that worked in the hospital, and they said he came in Sunday and had heart palpitations, and
She called me and said that they were treating him for a heart attack, getting ready to administer meds and stuff like that. And he finally came clean and said that he had eaten a bottle of pills and had been on a bender. So she called me to tell me that they had found Jeff and that she had treated him. And I think she told me that they were shipping him to a mental facility.
no, she didn't know that because I didn't know that till Tuesday when he called.
Well, she told me that they were shipping him out, so I assumed.
So he admitted he tried to kill himself, and they shipped him up to Bloomington, about 35 miles from here, to a mental facility. And he calls me Tuesday, and I'm like, where the heck have you been? And he explains all this, and it was like, so he comes back, and I'm like, I'm done, and what about the house? And so his stepfather agreed that we could stay there. And I said, he goes, you're 3 months behind on rent. And I'm like, yeah. I said, this was in October. I said, I'll get caught up with the rent somehow. I was planning on like giving him a little bit each month, and then like when my taxes come back, getting caught up then in January. But I just decided, I'm like, I can't trust him anymore. He lied to me. He's, I think he's going to continue to lie. And I said, you need help again, Jeff. You need to go to rehab. You need to stay longer. Da 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 da. And he goes, oh, I will. And that wasn't the answer I was looking for. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. So we stayed over there October, November, December. We moved out the first week in December. Yeah, because we paid December's rent over here, not here, but at another house. That was the longest 3 months that I've ever lived with somebody.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And he was trying to be nice, and I wasn't having it. I had just started a new job, and it was terrible.
It was bad on our end too, because me and the girls were prisoners. We didn't want anything to do with them. We were scared of him by that point. I was pregnant, so I definitely wasn't trying to get anywhere near that. And I think we were because I was renting their garage because it's huge. And when all that went down, I ended up moving into the house, and I was sleeping in the girls' room, and we were all three sleeping. No, Caitlin still had her own room.
Yeah.
Me and Clarissa were sharing a room. And I think I used to sit in their bedroom, like they would be at school during the day, and I'd be sitting in their bedroom watching TV because I worked second shift at the time, or night shift.
They just, and
it was like a prisoner in your own home. I didn't want to go to the kitchen. I used to time when I went to the bathroom because you didn't want to run into them.
Same.
Yeah, she used to lock herself in her bedroom. Okay. What did Luke say? He did blame me. He told his family that I was working. I had started at my current job that I'm at now. I was working healthcare. I was only a CNA for about a year. So I was working at a nursing home, and then when I left the nursing home, I went to the Alzheimer's place that I'm at now. Holla, 6 years in July. Anyway, I was working, and I was helping Mom pay bills. Like, if I couldn't pay the bill that month, I would put groceries in the house, and I made sure she had gas in her car, and the TV and internet was in my name. And I made sure I worked night shift, and I made sure the girls got off to school, and then I would go to bed, and I'd watch their dog, and I'd throw something in the crock pot for dinner for them when I was home during the day. And I was trying to put money back too for myself, but I was helping Mom out and Jeff paying bills. So
because she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, well, but yeah, even before that, I was paying stuff. But anyway, it made me mad when it all came out that he had told his family that me and my son's father were mooching off of them. They never.
Hi, Gigi.
That's a whole nother story. Maybe I'll have to share my testimony on here, but I never asked
Definitely.
them for money during that time. And I never asked them for anything for Zach at that time. My son's father's name is Zach too. So
no,
that
I was never married. Thank God. I wanted to be married, but that's, I know I was living in sin, but I kind of thank God for not being married, because what a mess that would have been. Oh, I definitely would have got a divorce, but so anyway, yeah, Courtney was keeping us afloat. I mean, I could help because I was working, and but I had started a job at that time, so my check was delayed like it always is, when you start a new job. But I was going to a food pantry like 15 miles away. Like I could only get that like once a month, but that was like a huge haul. That was like going to the grocery store. And
and I was trying to pick up where I could.
It was a mess. So December, I saw the light when we moved over here. The town we live in, this is our hometown, and we left him with a chair and what else, Courtney? A pillow and a blanket
and an old box TV
and an air mattress, and I didn't have no regrets. And
and a dog. We left our dog there. We couldn't take our dog.
It was his dog.
It was our dog.
But I had no regrets, and it was just like a big relief when we left that house for like we moved a lot of stuff like one Saturday, and my friend came over, and he was a godsend. He goes, oh, is that him? Because he came out on our back.
Oh, Mike. I thought you were talking about Byron for a minute.
No, and I said, yeah, and he goes, oh, he looks like he's winning at life. I mean, I don't think he was strung out on, I don't know, he might have been strung out on drugs, but yeah, and then I had to go back over there because we couldn't get everything that day, and thank God people from our church came over, two or three, Byron and Darlene Mike
used
Stewart's truck.
Yeah, and Byron brought his truck and his trailer, and Mike and Andrea brought their truck and trailer.
So, like 3 people from our church. Well, Mike and Andrea wasn't. Well, anyway.
Friends of ours. They went to our church.
God bless them for helping me. And we moved most of the stuff at one weekend.
And I was 6 months pregnant, and nobody would let me touch anything. I was so mad.
And we got everything, and my friend, like I told you before, our former church, when I had that trouble with my ex-husband, they wrote me off. They didn't ask about me. They didn't ask about the girls, if I needed anything. And this one lady at my church, I'm still grateful for. She said, Colleen, come over and I'll fix you lunch. So I went over there, and she said, you're away from him for good now, aren't you? And I go, yes. And I told her me and the girls had moved over here and by ourselves, and so grateful for my church. If it wasn't for my church family, I don't know where I'd be. There was like 4 ladies that really I can really talk to and really trust. And my pastor, he's concerned too, and he was asking me. And at the time when I was leaving Jeff, he said, Colleen, you got to do it this time. He goes, it's no good for you and the girls. You got to do it. And I said, I know. And that's when, this is crazy, but Tom Petty had passed away, and they kept saying, playing that song, I won't back down. And I'm like, that's my theme song. I'm claiming that. And I did. I didn't back down because the other times I gave in. But thank God I didn't. So thankful for my church family now. And our preacher, he always preached on Valentine's Day about love and couples and engaged couples, and he never did do singles. And I'm like, I was a single all this time, and he did a Valentine's Day thing, and he didn't focus on singles, but he included singles, and he said, when I focused on God, that's when he sent me my wife. And I'm not looking for a husband. Uh, I'm old and settled in my ways. I'm fine without one. And it was a revelation for me that, focus on God. And I told our pastor at the end of the service, I said, "You're right." I said, "I'm embracing my singleness. I'm focusing on God, and if God brings me a man, so be it. If he don't, so be it." So it's
too cute to be single.
It's been a long haul, but I kept saying, and somebody said to me at church, one of my friends, "God's got something bigger and better for you." And I've stood on that, and I've seen better things, not bigger, but I don't know. I keep focusing on that house. That was just my dream house. But now that I think about it, Courtney's moved out, Clarissa's moved out, Caitlin's probably getting ready to move out here soon. There I'd be in that big old house by myself and driving back and forth. That's the one thing I hated about, because it's 10 miles from here, and country roads. I mean, there you could go a highway, but most of it was country roads. The winters were brutal.
Yes.
In fact, when we moved over there, they had to delay some of our furniture because I bought it from a rent to own place, and there was a big ice storm. And the truck turned around, and we were going, and I'm like, "There's my furniture." And it was. But anyway, yeah, God's got something bigger and better for us. We lived in that house for a year and a half, 2 years. And then
just a little over a year.
A little over a year, and then
I brought Henry home to that house. And moved out right after his first birthday.
They up and sold it from us, out from beneath us. They gave us 30 days to move out, so we kind of moved here in a hurry. But it's been home for 4 years, almost 5. But I would love to get out of here because it's changed in 5 years. The roads are terrible here. I don't know. It's just this. It's not a community at all. I mean, the neighbors barely say hi. And
my neighbors talk to me all the time.
So I was so thankful to get out of that situation. And we still talk. I've forgiven Jeff for what he's done. Can't forget, but I forgave him. And I told him that. And things kind of got better between me and my ex. I mean, not because of that relationship or anything, but he started coming to our church. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm like, "No, Colleen." And my pastor even, I went in to talk to our pastor because I was thinking about joining the church. And I said, "I want to tell you a little bit about my background and stuff." And this was when I was still living with Jeff. And I told him that. And he said, "Well, Colleen," he goes, "I can tell you're a Christian woman, a godly woman." He said, "You know what you're doing." And he said, "God will, lead your path." And it took a while, but not because of God, because of my decisions.
Sometimes we like to take the long way around.
Yeah.
To the right road.
Yeah, God has a short way for us, and we got the long way around. Nope, we're going to do it my way.
Caitlin's got to fix that. That is so unsteady. He's going to fall off that thing.
So, my daughter's cat tree. So, my ex-husband. So he started coming to church, and my pastor asked me, he goes, "Is that a problem?" And I wanted to say, yeah, it's a problem, but the flesh in me said, yeah, it's a problem, but
Wayne's like this special kid. He's a big idiot.
Yeah.
He wouldn't hurt anybody purposely. It's like Lenny with the fuzzy stuff. He just squeezes it so hard their heads pop off. He doesn't mean to. He's a big idiot.
So we went to our church. It was in a little dry cleaners business, and then we moved like
to a storefront.
Yeah, half a mile from here. And that was really good. And that's when I really started growing in God and have a revelation one day. And the pastor was preaching on forgiveness. And he said, you can't hold that in your heart. You got to forgive. And he said, if you don't forgive, that's hurting you. It's not hurting the other person. It's hurting you. And whoo, yeah, that was a big revelation. So I went over and I grabbed my ex-husband's wrist, not his hand.
Because you don't know where his hands
are. I said, come on. And we went up front and we forgave each other in front of our church. I mean, we forgave each other right there. And I told him, I said, I want to tell you, I forgive you. And he told me, I forgive you for things that you've done and everything. So that was a big breakthrough. And so my relationship with my ex-husband, it's okay. It's better than it was. But I just say that.
He's a big idiot.
We live in Illinois, Blonde, Amazon, Central Illinois. So,
right smack dab in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. So
seriously, we're surrounded by cornfields.
Yep. So still growing. Still have a lot of growing to do. I always think of that verse in the Bible where it says, you feed a baby milk and then they grow, and then you start feeding them soft food, and then you start feeding them solid food. They grow up, and to be a nice, fine young woman with a 5-year-old grandson, 5-year-old son, and out on their own. And I've been saved for a long, long time, but I haven't grown. But I think in the last 5 years, I have grown a lot. Got a lot more growing to do. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is on Amazon. Thank you for that. He is. And I said last week, Christian music has been godsend for me. Contemporary Christian music. I mean, I love the old stuff too, but contemporary, it really speaks to me. And what was that one I heard again today? And I'm like, oh, who's singing that? And it was Colton Dixon again. He has a lot of good ones. And it was, I can't think of it. What was that one that I said, that's a group, Courtney? I like that song.
It was Hillsong United, and it was...
No, that he is.
Something like that.
So, yeah, I listen to a lot of Christian music. I don't know. It just has a big, it speaks to me. And, I got a cousin. He told me a long time ago. He said, Colleen, when I read the Bible, there's verses highlighted. I'm like, okay, I highlight verses. He said, no. He goes, I open a perfectly new Bible, and there's verses that's highlighted that speak to him, or God's trying to tell. I said, you missed your calling, Dwayne. I
That
said,
can be a sign of schizophrenia.
no. I said, you need to be a preacher. Well, he's a big guy, short, and they call him Tiny. And he has tattoos
little
on his
guy.
arms. He's
From the neck down.
from the neck down. He's a tattoo artist, was a tattoo artist. And he's a walking billboard for his business. And he said, some people has told me I need to start my own church. He goes, I don't think so. He goes, who would come to church to see this big old fat guy tatted up preaching? I said, Dwayne, I said, you would reach a lot of people that needed to be reached that a pastor in a suit and a tie couldn't reach. So he's had a lot of health problems and everything, but he's doing better now. But I'm really close to him, and I can talk to him about God, and he understands. I think sometimes that, like, I told my mom, and I'm like, no, Colleen, you can't be shy. You can't, not say, well, I think it was God. And then people are going to say, oh, you're crazy. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if they think I'm crazy. I witnessed to my one of my coworkers one time, and he goes, wow. He goes, I just got goosebumps. And he goes, that was God. And I go, yeah, it was God. I said, I can't explain it any other way. I said, it was a miracle and it was God. So I'm getting better. I'm still growing. I still need prayers. I think we all still need prayers. So what?
Girls' night.
Got canceled.
No, I can't go anyway because me and Zach got into a fight about it. Even though he told me to go, I'm not going to go.
So that's kind of my testimony. Courtney might tell hers someday on here, but I thank you all for listening. It's about time too.
Okay.
Sorry I got emotional there, but it's hard not to. Oh, and I wanted to tell you something that I put on one of my shorts, but it didn't come out very good. Our new church is by an airport. And about a month and a half ago,
maybe about a month
ago, a plane crashed at our church, not in our church, at our church grounds. And we had this like retaining wall. It was there before. And they had this they had a gazebo, and there was like bricks, and it's lined with rose bushes, the creeping roses, really pretty. And they had like a retaining wall. And was that where when students pray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have when students pray because it's a former Christian university campus. And this plane crashed into this retaining wall, just demolished this retaining wall. And the two guys that were a little private plane, the two guys were in it, one had a broken collarbone, and thank you, Wolf. And the other one,
I think, just had some superficial.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, they were both in intensive care, but it wasn't like life.
I think one just had some like minor internal bleeding, which there's no minor internal bleeding, but something that was fixable.
Yeah, so it wasn't really, really serious, but they were alive, and that's what one of our elders at our church posted on Facebook, and that's the picture I had on my short. And then the pastor said he always goes out there on Saturday nights and prays over the seats, all the seats in the church. And he said sometimes he walks around the grounds, which he'll probably do tonight. And he saw that the bricks and the dirt just laying there. Let me tell you that the gazebo was like 5 feet away. There was 2 trees on each side of this retaining wall and gazebo. They were like 2 feet away. There was a big dorm they just built like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, less than 10 years.
The plane could have easily crashed into that. He was probably a half a mile from the airport,
if that, because it's right across the field.
We never did. I've never heard what happened to the plane. He just couldn't make it. And I'm like, did he think, like, we have a big road leading up to our sanctuary, our chapel, I go, did he think that was a runway? And I'm like, no, because that's lit. I mean, it was about this time of night, maybe about an hour earlier when they crashed, and it just seemed like like it dropped. I don't know if that's what happened. If and our youth minister, our youth leader was she goes, Pastor Larry, a plane just crashed out here. They didn't hear it. So it wasn't, it didn't blow up or anything. They were both of the pilots were live. So anyway, the pastor was, it missed the trees, it missed the gazebo, it missed the dorm, the big dorm, it missed our chapel. And, I don't know if they can see. I mean, I'm sure they can see, but it demolished that retaining wall. And the pastor was walking around and he said, God told me this is a miracle. And he goes, this is a mess. And he said, no, God said it was a miracle. And it was. I don't know if it like buffered the plane from not, I don't know. I don't know much about planes, and Pastor goes, yeah, it is a miracle. And he always said when we acquired this land, he said, do you know we're walking in a miracle? And everybody would laugh. And he goes, no, we are walking in a miracle. And it is. It's just, and every pastor said, people that aren't affiliated with the church, well, how are you going to pay for that? What are you going to do with all those buildings? And he said, God is going to show us what to do. He said, it's nothing that I did. It's none of our members, what we did in the church. It's what God did, what God sees fit for us. God is blessing us with this. We got almost 60 acres, and the chapel, Ruth Hall, Alumni Hall, Titus Hall,
and the Laughlin Center.
Laughlin Center and the Field House. So like 60 acres and 6 buildings.
We went from an A-frame house in another town over to the dry cleaners, to the storefront, and now this 60-acre property.
From the dry cleaners, which seated about 100.
I thought he said 200.
The dry cleaners.
200, I thought.
And then from the storefront that seated 350.
Maybe it was only 100 in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a dry cleaners that only seated about 100, maybe 150 people, to the storefront that we could seat 350, I think.
Yeah,
and
maybe
now,
4.
Maybe 4 if we squeezed in, and to our chapel now
over
that seats
1,000.
Over 1,000 people.
I think 1,100.
In 16 years. We celebrated our 16th anniversary.
So God has blessed us, and He's continuing to bless us. And I think pretty soon we're going to have to go to 2 services. He said we had record number there on Mother's Day. So, of course, I was thinking Easter, but we had a pretty good crowd on Easter. But I sit way in the front. I sit like 4 rows from the front. So when I sit down and we start worshiping, praising and worship, I never look back. I'm going to have to do that one day. When we get ready to sit down, I'm going to turn around and see how many people's there. And we also have like a balcony overflow, but he said total like 1,100.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody, enough of me crying. And no, my former pastor's wife said, it's good to cry. And I'm like, well, I don't like to cry. And she said, our tears, she was a psychology major. No, she was a
social worker.
But she knew she was very smart. She said, tears have toxins in them. And that's our way of getting toxins out of our body. And I was like, I didn't know that. But, I used to hold my tears back, but I got very sick one time. Very stressful doing that. And I let them flow anymore. Don't mean to sometimes, but sometimes you got to do that. So we're going to say adios, amigos. Love each and every one of you. Thank you for coming in my live. Maybe next week we'll play some games. I don't know. Get back to our trivia. We'll see. All right, everybody. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. Go to a church of your choice tomorrow. If you can't, watch one online. And we love you all. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.